Scott Speaking Sports, ladies and gentlemen. My dad's back. Let's get into our football predictions and our Royal Rumble predictions. Let's start those right now. First off, in the AFC Championship game, I'm going to go with the Ravens at home. I think the Ravens have been the better team all season. I'm going to go with the Ravens at home over the Chiefs.
So I think the Chiefs have a track record, obviously, of getting to the Super Bowl. Lamar Jackson has not led his team to the Super Bowl yet. But I think this year Lamar Jackson does it. I agree with Scott, and I think the Ravens get to the Super Bowl.
Next up in the NFC Championship game, the Lions and the 49ers. Just because this is how my life has been going these past 6 months of my life, I'm going to go with the Lions. I think the Lions are going to make the Super Bowl and defeat the 49ers in the NFC Championship game.
I would love to see the Lions win. I'm rooting for the Lions to win. But I think that the 49ers at home are going to be just a little too much, and I think the 49ers get the win.
And now into the Super Bowl predictions, just so I don't have to, just so you guys can enjoy the Super Bowl with your family. Again, just because this is how my life has been going recently, I'm going to go with the Lions to win the Super Bowl. It seems like all my teams seem to lose to the team that wins the championship. Every single sport I've seen this year, it seems to happen to me. I'm going to go with the Lions to win the Super Bowl, and my MVP is going to be Jared Goff.
And I don't pick games based on grievance like Scott does, so I'm going to go with the team I think is the best team. And I think that with Deebo Samuel's health up in the air, I think that the Ravens are going to get it done this year. I think Lamar Jackson finally gets that first Super Bowl championship. I think it'll be a great game, and the MVP will be Lamar Jackson.
And now into the Royal Rumble predictions for this Saturday. Me, my mom, my dad, and my sister are going to be there. Should be a great show. Let's start off with the two non-Royal Rumble matches. First off, for the United States Championship, it'll be the current champion Logan Paul defending his title against Kevin Owens. I'm going to go with Logan Paul to get the win here and retain the United States Championship. I believe that these two will probably wrestle again at Elimination Chamber in Australia because they don't really have a big name guy right now in WWE that can wrestle in Australia. With Gunther having can't travel with the WWE that much. Roman Reigns just decides he doesn't want to show up anymore, and Seth Rollins is hurt. So I'm going to go with Logan Paul to retain the United States Championship here at the Royal Rumble.
I'm going the other way. I think Kevin Owens is going to get the win, and I think it's going to set up a rematch at the next pay-per-view. I think KO winning it sets up that rematch. So I'm going with Kevin Owens in this match.
Next up in the Undisputed Universal Championship match, Roman Reigns, Randy Orton, LA Knight, and AJ Styles. I'm going to go with Roman Reigns to retain the Undisputed Universal Championship here. I think Roman Reigns is not going to lose this title until WrestleMania. To who, we'll see. I've been seeing a lot of different things happening with that. But as of right now, I'm going to go with Roman Reigns to retain the Universal Championship here at the Royal Rumble.
I've seen a big push for Randy Orton lately, and I think it's going to be a huge upset. I think Reigns has had the title for far too long. I think Orton is going to win the Fatal 4-Way, and then Reigns will take it back from him before WrestleMania, and then we'll see what happens then.
I could also see Randy Orton walking into WrestleMania as champion, and then maybe Cody beating him at WrestleMania. We'll see what happens. Now into the women's Royal Rumble match. Only, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 announced entrants into the Rumble, so there's a lot of open spaces for a lot of returns and a lot of stuff. So let's go down to the participants first. First off, representing SmackDown, you have Bayley and Bianca Belair. And then representing Raw, you have Ivy Nile, Maxine Dupree, Becky Lynch, and Nia Jax representing Raw. My two surprise entrants in the Women's Royal Rumble. I'm going to go with Liv Morgan, who I think will be returning from her suspension that she had a couple months ago. And I'm going to go with Naomi. I think she just lost that Knockouts Championship to Jordynne Grace a few weeks ago on TNA, and she said goodbye to the TNA crowd back here in Orlando last weekend. So I'm going to go with Liv Morgan and Naomi as my two surprise entrants here in the Royal Rumble.
And for my surprise entrance, I'm going to go with Nobody actually. The two that Scott went with, I'm going to go with those two as well.
Okay. The first two entrants into the Royal Rumble, it's tough. I mean, there's not enough announced entrants right now to go with that. I'm going to go with Natalya. I think she usually starts off the Royal Rumble. And then I'm going to go with Ivy Nile to be the second entrant into the Rumble. I think WWE is very high on her after calling her up to the main roster. So I'm going to go with those two to start off the Royal Rumble.
I'm going to go with Natalya and Nia Jax as the first two entrants.
Okay. My winner of the Royal Rumble, it's tough. I've been hearing a lot of different things here. But just so my friend Steven Battle doesn't get 40 points here in fantasy wrestling, I'm going to stick with what I've been saying since a couple months ago. I'm going to go with Bayley to win the Women's Royal Rumble. I think Bayley deserves to win the Women's Royal Rumble. But I would not be shocked to see Becky Lynch win the Women's Royal Rumble. I just don't want to see it happen. I'm going to go with Bayley to win the Women's Royal Rumble and go on to WrestleMania and defeat Io Sky for the SmackDown Women's Championship and finally get out of Damage Control. I'm going to go with Bayley to win her first ever Royal Rumble.
I'm going to go with one of the two names Scott just mentioned, but I'm going to go with the man, Becky Lynch. I think it's her time. I think it's her time to retain her championship. So give me Becky Lynch on this one.
Now into the Men's Royal Rumble. Again, a lot of I think 11 announced entrants for the Royal Rumble. So representing SmackDown, there's only one name on this list, and that's let's see, Bobby Lashley. And then representing Raw, you have Damian Priest, Kofi Kingston, Otis, Chad Gable, Akira Tozawa, Drew McIntyre, Gunther, Shinsuke, Cody, and CM Punk. My two surprise entrants in the Men's Royal Rumble. Again, I'm going to play it a little bit safe here. I'm going to go with Brock Lesnar as one of my surprise entrants. I think he is going to return here at the Royal Rumble. I just pray to God he does not win the Royal Rumble. And my second surprise entrant's a little bit tougher, but I'm going to go with Hulk Hogan just to be safe here. I think no, The Rock. The Rock is going to be my second surprise entrant, and he's pretty high up on the betting line right now, and he would probably be the best pick to make if you want to make money here at the Royal Rumble. So I'm going to go with The Rock as my second surprise entrant here at the Royal Rumble.
Despite what Scott said, we're not giving any betting advice out. But the two surprise entrants for me would be The Rock, and also because they're essentially wrestling in Hulk Hogan's hometown, I'm going with Hulk Hogan. He's a little too old to be in there, but I think he would be a nice hometown favorite.
He could just go in there for like 30 seconds and then just get eliminated by somebody.
Get tossed.
Yeah. My first two entrants into the Men's Royal Rumble, I've seen a lot of people saying that Cody's going to start off this Royal Rumble. So I'm going to go with that. And I'm going to go with Chad Gable as my second entrant. I think they need to start off Cody Rhodes with a little bit of an easier opponent to start off the Royal Rumble. So I'm going to go with Cody Rhodes and Chad Gable to start off the Men's Royal Rumble.
I think they're going to start off with Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods, two members of the New Day, and those guys are going to clean up at the beginning and form a team, and then one of them will flip the other guy up over the rope.
Yep. My winner of the Royal Rumble, I've seen the odds shift, so I think that's what I'm going to go with here. I'm going to trust Las Vegas on this. I'm going to go with Gunther to win the Men's Royal Rumble. I think he was like fourth on the betting line just yesterday morning. Now he's the co-favorite to win the Royal Rumble. So somebody knows something that I don't know. So I'm going to go with Gunther to win the Men's Royal Rumble and then go on to WrestleMania and defeat Seth Rollins for the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania. So I'm going to go with Gunther to win the Men's Royal Rumble.
I think WWE wants you to think that.
Yeah.
But I do believe that the most obvious choice here is CM Punk.
Yeah.
He's getting the push.
Yeah.
He's the biggest name. Mm-hmm. I think he will create the most buzz if he wins Royal Rumble. Mm-hmm. So give me CM Punk.
Yeah, this is probably the most wide open Royal Rumble in a long time. You know, there's 3 or 4 guys that I think could win this Royal Rumble. So it's going to be really fun to watch on Saturday. And that will do it for this episode of Scott Sweeney Sports Theater, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know when I'm going to be back. Time will tell, but I will see you guys right back here next week on Scott Sweeney Sports. See you later, guys.
See you guys.